Hi, my name is Esteban, and today I wanted to make a quick loom just to show you what is the methodology that we use when it comes to optimizing our Google Ads campaigns. So basically, on this document that I'm sharing right now, we try to we will look at the different metrics and variables that we normally analyze on our Google Ads campaigns, just to make sure we get the most out of our budget. So first of all, I personally like to investigate and analyze the quality score metric, just because I think that's one of the most important metrics on Google Ads, because it is directly related to your cost per click. So basically, Google's business is relevant. So for example, if you search for soccer shoes today, and then instead of finding soccer shoes results, you just see dress shoes, and that behavior repeats every time that you make a search on Google, then Google businesses disappear. So in order to make sure that people are maintaining that relevance when they are allowed to bid on keywords and show their ads for specific searches, Google has actually established the quality score metric. And the quality score metric is a punctuation that goes from 1 to 10, and that is assigned to each of the keywords that you're advertising on, based on different factors that assess the relevance that your keywords and ads and landing page have with what the users are searching. So basically, in order to make sure that users are still maintaining that relevance when people are searching, when people are advertising on Google Ads, they've created this quality score metric, which means that if you have a quality score of 1 in one of the keywords, then Google will penalize you and increase your cost per click by 400%. But then if you have a quality score of 10, which means that you're being very relevant to what users are searching, Google actually rewards you and they give you a discount of 50% on your cost per click. So that's why I think it's one of the most important metrics that we can optimize based on. So one of the things that we normally analyze in terms of quality score is try to see how many impressions we're getting on keywords based on their quality score. So as you can see here, for this client, we saw that only 18% of the impressions that they were getting actually happened on keywords that had a quality score above 5. So that actually means that for the other 82% of impressions, they were actually going to be penalized in terms of cost per click every time that a user clicked on one of those ads. So if we already have that data, then this allows me to know that there are a bunch of places or keywords where we need to improve our relevance, just so that we can improve our quality score and our cost per clicks as well. So then we also analyze how much money we're spending in terms of quality scores. So for this specific client, we saw that 20% of our budget was spent on keywords that had a quality score of 7 or more. So that means that we ended up spending 80% of our money on keywords that were being penalized by Google. So actually, out of that 80% spending that we did on keywords with a low quality score, I would say that about 30% of that budget came only from penalizations from Google. So then we also look at how many keywords with a low quality score we have in each of the ad groups. So this will give us a very good idea on what is the type of a campaign structure that we should have. And my recommendation there is to always have a bunch of very specific ad groups where you only have a few keywords that are very relevant to the ads that you have in each of those ad groups. So then, based on the different metrics that we get and during the analysis, we can provide a bunch of recommendations on how to improve quality score. So the first recommendation is to make sure that the keyword that you're bidding on also appears on the ad and also appears on the landing page. Then you can also work on other things, such as improving your website speed, just because Google also takes into account the website experience when it comes to quality score. You can improve your ads. You can also use ad extensions on your ads just to try to boost your click-through rate as well. Then when it comes to optimizing our campaigns on a regular basis, we also look at other types of variables, and one of those variables is location bidding. So for this specific client, we saw that they were advertising all over the US. However, 60% of their purchases came from 10 states. And even when we already know that 10 states are driving most of our purchases, when we're talking about California or Texas, we know that these are huge states. So we dig a little bit deeper and see, and we actually found for this client that, for example, in California, 60% of their purchases in California came from San Diego and San Francisco. So if we already have that data, then we need to try to spend as much money or resources as we can on those places that are generating better results for us. Then we also look at other metrics such as device bidding. So for example, with this client, we saw that most of their purchases came from people who saw the ad on their mobile devices, on their cell phones. However, the cost per acquisition for someone who is searching on their mobile device was 3 times larger than that of people who saw the ad on their desktop computers. So again, if we already have this data, then it makes more sense for us to try to boost sales on desktop just because they are more efficient in terms of cost per acquisition. Then we also look at other types of data, such as day of the week. So for example, for this client, we know that Thursdays are the best days in terms of the amount of conversions and cost per purchase. And then we also look at other information such as hour of day. So for example, for this client, we found that after 10 p.m., our conversion rates would decrease by 50 to 60%. So again, if we already have this data, then we need to take actions based on this information. And the main purpose of actually showing all these different variables that we analyze is to know exactly how we can play with all these different levers in order to optimize our campaigns and get the most out of our budget. So I hope you found this helpful, and please let me know if you have any questions.